Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day. Just had a good day so far. The rope is back. We had another great day, but as always, I'll go over that at the end of the video. There's another big slate of Champions League games, one Europa League game. So a lot of plays. Try to go through. I feel like these games, for the most part, are more evenly matched. So it's a lot harder to find plays. I tried my best. As always, if I do have any added plays, they will be in the pinned comment on this video. Could be later tonight. Might not have any tomorrow just because I will be at work, so I might not find time to be able to find those plays. But like I said, if I do, they will be in the pinned comment. But I'll just get straight into the plays. And the first one is Casper Schmeichel to go under 2.5 saves playing at home for Celtic going up against Young Boys. Young Boys in general is a bad team, both on offense, bad at defense. They're tied for the worst attack so far. They've only scored 3 goals in this Champions League campaign so far in the 6 games. And then opposing keepers going up against Young Boys have gone under 2.5 saves in all 6 games that they faced each other so far. So this has a 100% hit rate so far for opposing keepers going up against Young Boys so far in the Champions League. And honestly, I feel like Young Boys should be a sort of a similar matchup to what Celtic is used to whenever they play in their league. They're very, very dominant whenever they play in their league. And if you look at the amount of shots that they allow in the Champions League against much tougher opposition, at home in 3 games, they've only allowed 9 shots. And the Premiership at home, they only allow 5.9 shots. And that's because they play possession and just don't give the opposition a lot of opportunities to get those chances. And that's going to be the same for Young Boys. Young Boys already bad in attack. And for a team like Celtic to control the ball, I just feel like Young Boys is not going to get many opportunities, if any at all. I already mentioned how opposing keepers have gone under in all 6. And I'm not even sure if Young Boys even get 3 on target at all. They're not going to get many opportunities in this game. And Schmeichel has gone under this prop in 3 out of 6 in the Champions League, 50%. The games he went over were against Dortmund, Atalanta, 2 tough attacks, and then Brugge. Brugge got their last attempt towards the last 5 minutes of the game just off of a long shot. So even that one he shouldn't have gone over. But the games he's gone over were against good attacks. And Young Boys is literally quite the opposite. I mentioned they're tied for the worst. And there's not a strong team. Celtic are healthy, so it's not like they're missing any key pieces. And Young Boys, whether they win this game, tie this game, they have 2 games left in the campaign. Even if they somehow win this game and win the next one, the last 2 games, they're out. There's literally nothing for them to compete for. So they have no motivation, and it's not like they're playing at home. So I don't see a good performance. I see a dominating performance from Celtic, and I just don't see them getting those shots. So like Casper Schmeichel to go under 2.5 saves. And the second prop that I found that I like is Lautaro Martinez to go higher than 1.5 shots on target playing away from home. For Inter going up against Sparta, you could take his higher than 3.5 shots, but I like the fact that you're getting plus money, plus value for this play. He's in good form. He's gone over in his last 3 games with 3 shots on target in the last 3 games straight. We just need to get 2. He's had 3+ in the last 3 games. And even in those games, he got subbed out within like the last 10 minutes or so. So even without playing the full game, he had 3. We just need 2 from him. And you're getting this at plus value. I like this prop. And I like the matchup as well. Sparta have not been good defensively. They have conceded 18 goals in 6 games so far in the Champions League. So that's 3 goals a game. And 2 opponents, on average, they have allowed 19 shots, which is a really, really high mark. And if they get those opportunities to enter, and a player like Lautaro, he will have good opportunities to be able to put those shots on target. He's also a versatile striker. In the league, he has taken 28 with his right, 17 headers, and 13 with his left. And then out of the shots he's taken, 47 have been from inside the box and 11 have been from outside the box. So he can shoot with his right, shoot with his left. He is pretty good when he's playing in the air, even though he's only 5'9". Like I said, he's taken 17 headers as well. And if he gets those long shots opportunities, he will take those. So he's just a player that he will take the shots no matter where he is, as long as he gets the opportunity, which is another reason why I like this play at all. And he's also good when he does receive the ball at holding off opponents and just holding the ball. He's a pretty strong player. So if he gets those opportunities, he's good at shielding the ball. That's just better for us, for him to be able to find those shot opportunities. And if you look at the opponents that Sparta has played, when it comes to the amount of possession they've given to opponents, they get Feyenoord 57%, they give Atletico 60%, and they're not a team that play possession at all. They gave Brest 50%, they gave Manchester City 80%, Stuttgart 76%, and Salzburg 71%. So if they can give that amount of possession to them, I expect the same for Inter, at least around 60 to 70% possession. And Inter are also another team that usually don't play possession for the most part. At least this season, they've been more of a 50% possession type of team. But if they get those opportunities and have more possession, that just means more shots on target for Lautaro. And he's already been going over with that 50-50 possession. With more opportunities, I like this prop even more. Besides, he has plenty of great teammates that can pass on the ball, like Dumfries, Di Marco. They have Barella, Zielinski. He has a lot of great passes around him, so I like this prop. And also, for some reason, my gut is telling me that this could be a little bit of a difficult match for Inter. I'm not saying they're not going to win. I'm just saying that they might have a difficult time finding the net, or like maybe they'll score one, but they obviously want to be scoring more goals, at least in the Champions League. So I see him being like just staying in the game and being able to get those shots on target. And I just really like the value you're getting here, and I like the play in general. So I like Lautaro Martinez to go higher than 1.5 shots on target. Before I get into my lines, if you guys could like the video, comment as well. It helps boost the video out to more people. I read all the comments. I really appreciate your guys' support. Anything you guys leave is very much appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to support the channel a little more and want to get the videos out early, I do have the membership linked in the description if you're interested in that. I don't hide any picks, but like I said, if you want to get the videos out early, you can get that there, and it's a great way to support the channel. And then any of my links in the description, whether it's player prop apps, the Moneyline apps, the data apps, all linked in the description. And I really want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. But when it comes to Moneyline, I have one slip that I have. You can currently get this at -151, and the first play is higher than 1.5 Celtic goals going up against Young Boys. Young Boys are the worst defensive team so far. In 6 games, they have conceded 22 goals, so they average over 3 goals conceded, so around 3.5. We've seen them score 2. Opposing players have gone over this mark against Young Boys, which means have scored 2+, and all 3 away games that Young Boys has played, and 5 out of 6 in general for in the Champions League. They on average allow 19.2 shots to opponents, and that's great for a team like Celtic, who likes to take a lot of shots and likes to score a lot of goals. They have scored 10 goals in 6 games so far in the Champions League, and have gone over this mark in 2 out of 3 at home, again in the Champions League. And in those home games, they scored 5 against Slovan, 3 against Leipzig, and then they scored 1 against Brugge. And in that game, they just played bad in general, but I don't see them having a bad performance here. When you look at the games that they've played in the league, they have scored 34 goals in 11 games at home, so they average over 3 goals a game. And I mentioned this also in the Schmeichel play, and I'm mentioning it here again. It's just a similar matchup to what they're used to. A team like Young Boys who are not great when it comes to defending. They will hold a lot of the ball. They will be ball dominant. They'll take a lot of shots. So I easily see Celtic scoring 2, if not 3 goals. And they are a clinical team. They play through balls. They play long balls. They play counters. They can score from all assets of the game. It's harder to see it whenever they're playing these bigger teams. But when you see them playing a team like Slovan, where they scored 5, you can see it when they play there. And I see them doing the same thing here against Young Boys. It's a good matchup. So for the first play, I like Celtic to go higher than 1.5 goals. And the second play that I found that I like is higher than 0.5 first half goals for the AC Milan and Girona game. There's 2 teams that can score. AC Milan are much more likely to score, in my opinion, than Girona, but it's safer to just take either team just in case. In the league at home, this prop has hit in 7 out of 10 for AC Milan and 3 out of 3 home games so far in the Champions League, while for Girona, this has hit in 8 out of 10 away games in the league and 1 out of 3 in the Champions League. And a big reason why I also like this play is because Girona will be desperate to score. They've only won 1 game and lost 5. So if they want to somehow make the playoffs, they still can, but they need to get a result. They need a win. They need a draw. So they're going to be desperate to score. So they're going to be committing a lot of players to attack. But that also means they're going to be vulnerable whenever they're going back on defense. And as dangerous like a team with AC Milan, who have great wingers like Pulisic and Leao, who can hit you on the counter attack. Morata's a big counter attack threat. He's great at finding space in between defenders. So it's good and bad for them, but good either way for us, which is what I like as well. And then Milan, with the win here, can possibly get top 8, which guarantees them a spot in the knockout rounds. in the Champions League. So they're also going to be going for the win as well, especially now that they're playing at home. I like this prop as well. Milan like to attack through balls and counterattacks, like I mentioned before, and Girona are weak at defending those through balls and counterattacks as well. So it's a good matchup for on the attack and bad defensively for Girona. That's why I mentioned it's much more likely for Milan to score. But just because I mentioned Girona is desperate, so I'm taking it just in general, either team to score just one goal in the first half. Girona also play possession of the ball, so they will find those opportunities. So it's not like it's going to be all Milan. Girona will have those opportunities as well, and it seems to be pretty clinical, at least whenever they do get some of the chance that they get. We just need one goal, so I like this prop. I like higher than 0.5 first half goals in the Milan and Girona game. You can take out the play, combine it however you want with your plays, mix and match them. I know a lot of people like to do that, but this is the play that I like for tomorrow. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly, we went over last video's picks. I mentioned I'm wearing the roll for a reason. We swept the player props we had added plays. Lino was a DMP because he didn't start. But other than that, we had Kalulu to get a tackle. That one hit pretty easily. I had 2 added plays, and that was Kobo to get higher than 2.5 saves. That one hit. And then Orsolini to go higher than 2 shots. That hit. He hit that one within the first half, and he got actually injured and subbed out. But he hit the prop for us before he went out. And then we had Stiller higher than 2 shots assisted. He ended with 2. He pushed. He had 2 in the first half, and he unfortunately couldn't find the third. But we'll take a push, much better than a loss. So we swept the player props. The ones that hit was 3. We had 1 push, and then we had 1 DMP. So that's perfectly fine. We had a great day. And then moneyline wise, when it came to the ladder challenge, Galatasaray had a 3-0, 3-1 lead, and they choked that right at the end. So that was unfortunate. I mentioned how Kiev had only scored 1 goal the whole season in the Champions League, and they managed to score 3 against Galatasaray, so which is very unfortunate. And then I had 2 added plays, slips. I usually never add slips, but I put some on there, and I went one-on-one on those. We had PSV to win or draw. They came through. They won their game. And then we had the Dortmund and Bologna game to go at least 1 goal in the first half, and that one hit. And then the other one, I had Juve to win or draw, and then I had Barcelona to in the first half they wouldn't be losing. But if you watch that game, that was just an incredible game. Even just as a neutral, Barca were losing in the first half, and they ended up coming back from 2 goals down in the second half. But we needed the first half, and it didn't come through. So money line wise in general is 1 and 2, but we set the player props, so hopefully we can carry on that momentum to both player props and money lines tomorrow. Like I mentioned, if I have any added plays, it will be in the pinned comment. And for those that don't know, I have the free Discord link in the description. Not a premium, just for those that want to talk about their plays, other sports in general. Just a good community I'm trying to build over there. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.